Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Rocky Road with your host, Rocky Rocket.
Yeah.
This is a show that is geared towards independent artists and the people that support the independent music industry and these artists. I have a very special guest with me here today. He's going to introduce himself.
Hey, how you doing, Rocky Rocky? This your boy Tre Belfort, man, coming live out of H-Town. Man, your favorite rapper, your favorite actor, and your favorite skit artist. Yay, let's go, let's go. The entertainer of the year. That's what we're working for. Yay.
Hey, yes. Oh, me and Tre were talking a little bit before we got started today, but I forgot to mention, Tre, I did see a couple of your skits and you are hilarious, dressing up like the old man.
Yes, man.
Uh, those were really funny. So of course, let's talk about um the beginning for you as an independent artist before we go into where you're at right now as
Yes.
an artist. What made you decide to first, let's start with becoming a rapper. What
Right.
made you decide, who in your life influenced you to head down this path?
Well, I like the history that represents behind Houston music, with DJ Screw. Like, the story behind DJ Screw is so awesome is because he stepped out there on a whole nother genre. He created a whole nother wave. You feel me? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm a part of, creating something different. Whereas in this time, everybody likes to be the same. You see me? But when you building a brand and you want to build the brand, the only way your brand is going to stand is if you be something different. It's the reason why DJ Screw name lasts still to today, because he built the brand that was different from everybody else. And so I'm like, when you had like your big homie and you see them do good things and you see your city do good things, you want to be a part of that. And so like, I just take the time to want to be that. But I think that Houston could be shown in a bigger light with that all around artist. And so that's my goal, is to give a different light, which I represent for the new age, something I think that a lot of people are scared of, and that's work. That's how
Mm,
I'm. Yes, ma'am.
yes, work.
Yeah.
Yes. So, um, in the beginning, the at what age did you start testing out playing with rhymes and lyrics, and who inspired you to do that? Like family members, artists?
I think like music just was, since they had that little Fisher Price little recording thing with the little microphone, I've been singing, since I could imagine. Of course, it always seems like it starts off in the church. So, I started singing in the church at first. And then I've always had a love for the music. But just in the last year or two, I learned that there's a difference in having a love for the music and having a love for the business. And you need to be equally yoked in both of those things. And so now I just now really consider, even though I've been doing music for a while, I just now really consider myself as a real artist now, because I understand, we're getting the LLC, you know what I mean? And like official running campaigns, et cetera, et cetera. So I've learned how to take it to the next level and learn that it's just more than just dropping the song. That's the easy part, is just dropping the song.
So tell me a little bit about what you have going on right now, like your project.
Oh,
You just drop Okaden, the music video. Tell me about what you have going on right now. But not only that, how did you link up with Alley Cat and Tre 100 to put together this song?
oh, well, right now I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission that I think they got a lot of like, let's just say the more polite word is a lot of industry plants in the game. And so I'm coming to run a full court press on them to show that the real can still overshadow the fake. And how you overshadow the fake is you have a hard work ethic. Feel me? I feel like some of the talented people that's out here in H-Town, you know what I mean? But you got to just figure out this marketing scheme and accept the game for what it is. So I say, well, since I'm back in the game, let me go at y'all neck, and I'm gonna go at your neck real hard. So Tre 100 is like one of my great partners, man. One of my big homies. You know, like we've been connected since I had moved to the north side of Houston, and I knew that I wanted to get the streets behind me first. You know what I mean? You know, you want to get the neighborhood behind you first, and he has a lot of a pull out on the streets. And so I said, man, this is simple math. And big shout out to DJ Hollygrove. DJ Hollygrove is the one who introduced me to Fred on him. So I was like, man, I want to come out with a hard beat, but it's got to be somebody from Houston. It's all got to be like a Houston thing, you feel me? But we're gonna run this all the way. And he say, okay. Now, what my thing is I'm talented at taking little sayings and making them into something else. So like I Do What I Want. I had a song called I Do What I Want, which led into the skit. So now I'm coming back with okay then. And so now what I learned is that TikTok is the biggest way to get your song jumping. So what I did is I came with a marketing scheme to promote it through TikTok. Okay then, everybody say okay then. So we're gonna sell this sign, but it's a mission that's in my head. I'm trying to show everybody how I'm working and how I'm thinking out the box with my own money, because I got another song that's about to get ready to drop. That's an individual song, but I'll let you know, be the first person to tell I'm gonna kill him this summer. Got a song with DJ Charles and OMB Bloodbath. If you know, then you know. It's a summer joint, but it's a workup of it. You see what I'm saying? I'm giving people, and so now what I'm gonna show people is when you work, watch how many people come and support you. Like ESG, look out and say, hey man, I like what you're going on. Or Rocky, you come out and you help me and post. When people see you putting that work in and investing your time, taking the time to think out the box, because it's not the post that you made, it's the creativeness behind the post that'll capture everybody to be like, oh man, let me see what this young man is going on, because free game again, everybody, people are looking to invest their money right now. But see, what has happened is people think that I can give you $75,000 and you're gonna take the money and do whatever you want to do with it, because you don't see the bigger picture. You take that money, invest it so you can build up your empire till you get to 1 million. And then you say, okay, well, I'm stable. And now you can just, So that's the reason why I'm back in the game, because I think they forgot what it means to work. They don't know what it means to work. So I'm gonna show you what it means to work. And when you reap the rewards from working, I say, see that? That's what happened when you work.
Yes, 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 indeed. Work, 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 work. And let's talk about work for a second. I want to let y'all know how I came on to Tre and his music. And as you guys know, if you've been walking this rocky road with me from the jump, I pull a lot of jobs, I do a lot of things, and this show is the birth of that, right? In my juggle of the hustle, I slipped up and I dropped the ball on something that a service that Tre paid me to do. That I was paid to do. Okay. And I dropped the ball. And the word of the day, ladies and gentlemen, here is accountability, right? And when I dropped this ball, Tre called me on this, okay? As a professional, as an industry professional, he called me out on this. Like, hey, you said you were going to get this done by such and such time. What's going on? What's up? And I apologized and in turn offered to go above and beyond for Tre, right? Because he was doing what he needed to do. He took care of his business. He took care of his business early and let me as an industry professional know how he was coming, and I was the one who dropped the ball on his end. So I say that to say that okay, and then so I made it right. We scheduled a time. He had something that popped up and he let me know like, hey Rock, I'm sorry I had something pop up. So he communicated with me. And so I say all of this, I want to tell you all this story because I feel like it was meant to be for us to connect on this level and in this way. And it would not have happened if I would have gotten in my feelings for dropping the ball, right? I had to take my accountability of what I did wrong and apologize. Say the words, I'm sorry, right? To the person who paid for this service who didn't get what he paid for in the time that he had paid for it. So I say all this as an industry professional and also say to music artists, guys, that we need to make sure that we're taking accountability for our actions and our shortcomings, right? And building rapport and building up trust with these independent artists, right? Because they're out here grinding, and there's a whole bunch of people who will take money and run and not do what they say that they're going to do. If you're not one of those people, don't be one of those people.
Right.
Make sure that you're taking care of your own brand, and make sure that you're taking care of each other and building up. You want to build each other together. And I also want to thank Tre for not only calling me out on my dropping of the ball, but also because he was very professional about it. He didn't come at me out the side of his neck. He didn't threaten me or nothing like that. He was very professional about it. And not only that, when he couldn't make our interview for the set time, he apologized for it. We rescheduled. He showed up early today. So I just want to let y'all know that that is how this building of the independent music industry, rebuilding of the independent music artist, music industry, and building that rapport with music artists is going right here live on this show in this connection that you see here today. So we'll get back to you, Tre, but I just wanted to input how I met you and that I appreciate you for doing things the professional way that you did them. And now I want to ask you, how did you learn that?
Well, I'm sitting back and I've been watching the industry and I've been watching what everybody's talking about. And everybody's talking about they want to invest money in artists, but they don't like the way that these artists are doing business. And so, when you a hustler, you're gonna cover every aspect, because it's scary as an independent artist who's really investing his money to invest their money because you don't know what the outcome is going to turn out to be, right? But I'm going to tell you something that was special to me is that I've been spending money with people who just be like, I'm such and such. And so either you're going to spend the money and they give you the most piss poor quality, whatever, however. Everybody has an attitude. But what I remember is this. I remember everything. I keep account of everything, what people charge, how they do. Because guess what? Long as I keep working, I'm going to get my turn too. But I can turn the way because I know how I like to be treated and I know how I like to do business, right? So, like, I went through the same situation with somebody else. I paid them some money. I said, hey, man, when you going to post it? They never even responded back to me. So when somebody even comes back and says, because you got to remember, we all human at the end of the day, and we all make mistakes, because look how the picture turned out. Hey, I asked for a service. It didn't happen. You turned around and say, look, I'm going to give you a service. I don't even turn up on time. So I'm like, look, you can't do business like this, because that's how you get a bad reputation. That's what artists don't understand, especially when you don't have a lot of money. There are other things that you can use in place of not having all the money in the world. And what that is a hard work ethic, because right now people have a lot of money that they don't mind spending, but they can't find somebody that wants to work.
Yo, seriously. And you know, I want to take a second to plug my boy Mobang Media, right? He is
Right.
a great example of how hard work, how
Yes.
hard work outbeats everybody. This man has an impeccable reputation as a music industry professional.
Yeah.
I mean, this man will show up on the weekend. He will pull up to where you're at. You're going to get what you get. You're going to be able to count it up in front of him, make sure that he has the right amount. He may have even thrown a few extra for you. This man takes care of his customers. And I've worked with Bang at the start of my music industry career, and he really set the platform for how customer service works. Even if you're not physically getting paid, be about what you say that you're going to do.
Yeah.
Be about, I think, on both parts, right? On the artists and on the music industry professionals, we just need to be about what we say we're going to be about. Do what you say you're going to do, because people's memory is long.
Yeah.
People's memory is long.
Yeah.
and not everybody knows. That's one thing that I said when I came into this industry is I know how some rap artists get their money, right? They're battling life or death on a daily basis. You don't play with that. You don't play with that. Not every rap artist is getting 9 to 5 money and turning that and flipping it and putting it in your pocket. Like you got to respect the dollar that they put their life on the line for. Like, you really got to respect that.
On the head. That's really what it is. Like, you know, man, you know, sometimes we can get in our feelings, but because that used to be my sentiment about it. Like, yo, you don't even understand like what I'm out here doing to try to get this money, right? But at the same time, I remember that this is a business at the end of the day. And so I try to check my emotions, because that's my emotions at the end of the day. Like, you know what I mean? Because these big heads, they don't care, man, about none of that. You feel me? They just want production. That's why you gotta appreciate. Look, my old man used to tell me this, right? The world will never give a care about you. It's not their job to care about you. But if you meet somebody along the way that cares about you, you need to hold on to those type of people. So like, that's why I had to embrace you, because I'm like, man, most people don't even care. They just, well, fall in line to how it go. Because once they reach a certain status, sometimes people forget. So, you know, it's just the beauty of growing with people who care about you to embrace you, because most of this game not. And you just got to what it is. They don't care about, they don't care if they take, you give your last money to them and you homeless tomorrow. Some people don't eat. So, you know, I don't want people to think that like people really gonna give a care about you in this industry. But when you get to getting that type of attitude, if you have this, oh, I'm the attitude, you're gonna miss those people who really care about you.
Yes, yes. And you will align with other people who don't. It's a threefold thing, right, Trey? Right? Like, it's a threefold thing. It's like, you know, you come into it and you gotta pick your path. Because if you align with people who care about you, those people are going to do more for you regardless of the dollar,
Mm-hmm.
than anyone else in your circle. Then you have people who will only move when you feed the piggy,
Yeah.
only move when you won't go above and beyond what you say that you're going to do. And if you are somebody who's inconsistent, then that's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And I don't think that any music artist wants to build a team that is built strictly on money, right?
Right.
Because there's a
Right.
whole lot of stuff in the music industry that you can't monetize.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
know, like you being on the show. I don't charge people for me to interview them. I interview people who are dope. I interview people who have a story, who have something to tell, who has something to talk about. And that's not something that can be monetized on my end. And so for me, and you sitting on a platform to be able to have that back and forth and that conversation like that, that is, I hope that anybody watching this will take that from this, is that it really is going to take us building together as music artists and industry professionals so that we can outweigh the people who don't give a damn about you, because we don't want them here,
Right.
not for
Right.
no amount of money. I've
Exactly.
dealt with janky promoters dealing with booking for the past 3-4 years now. Like, I didn't manage him in swanging and banging days. I managed him when he was ESG.
Yeah.
So, you know, and coming into this whole social media world and everything like that, like making all of that work and people hitting up in DMs and stuff like that.
Mm.
And when I tell you, it's the same thing. No matter where you are in the game, it's still people who are out here to get you. No matter
Mm.
if you're at 500 followers, 500,000 followers, or 5 million followers, it's still all the way around. You got to connect with your people.
Yeah. Let me
So,
uh
yeah.
it's something I like to tell the independent artists. Let me give people, independent artists, a little free game how to have a little bit more faith when you spending your money, because it's always liable somebody gonna take your money. But this is how you get your money on your back end. Make sure that you file for a sole proprietorship, LLC, whatever it is. Keep a receipt of everything that you do, all the transactions you do. This is even for clothes, trips that you taking. All of these things count off as write-offs. You'll be much more better. You'll feel better at the day investing your money, because some of it is going to come back. If not all of it that you invested is going to come back. So free game out there for his in the. I'm telling y'all, look, this is how you going to kill the game. Just do your paperwork. Start your paperwork off right, and it's going to pay you back in the end run. At least you'll still get some money back on the back end.
So, let's talk about how you learn to file your paperwork. Uh, I know we talked about how you started off being an artist, but how did you learn how to come with all your stuff together? How did you start building on that foundation?
Um, First, like, I give a shout out to my team, man. Doc, Easy Access. I appreciate them. My family. They keep me well rounded. Also, in this day and age, I don't know what other people use social media for, but I use it for to learn. I learn from people's mistakes. I watch. You can watch literally on Instagram people's career go up and down real quick. And so what it is I learned from the lesson. And the main lesson that I always learn is that people don't always have their paperwork lined up. You know what I mean? And like, if you're trying to get a business, how you gonna get your money if you don't know how to, they don't know the name to put on the paycheck. It's like you working and they got all these paychecks there, but they don't know what name to put on it. So with that being said, when I came back, when I said I was going to start working on music again, because I just had finished doing Coming to America too. I was in that movie. I did that little movie, and I had been doing the skits for the last 2 years. I had been taking the time to listen to these industry people like Chameleon now, Wallow, even on Drink Champs. And the main thing I kept hearing everybody say is, get your paperwork right, get your paperwork right, and I'm wondering why. And more, I started hearing less people talk about, man, make sure you got your 16 bars right. Make sure you beat right. The first thing they want you to do. And so that's how it sent me down that tunnel, because my whole thing is I want to do it right, because you can't expect good results if you don't build a solid foundation. Like I didn't done the music and just went out there and threw stuff out there. You can't, with the internet, you're not gonna be able to do that. You're gonna have to be able to be creative and think outside of the box in order to move somewhere. And so with that being instead, a lot of times how you even get more noticeable is just by having your paperwork done. It's important from YouTube to Sound Exchange to DistroKid. Like I even had to take it so far this time. I tell everybody, like, it's in your best interest to get your own barcode for your music, so you can track your own music and know what the heck is going on. Also, a reason why, let's say DistroKid get mad at you and they want to take your music down. Well, you'll lose all your numbers to your music because DistroKid owns your barcode number. But if you go and you got your own barcode number, you can go upload it on another site and it picks up just continue. What that is so you don't discontinue your money. That's the whole thing. And what you have to understand in this industry, the reason why you want to protect your money is because nobody cares about your money. And if you do have a talent and you develop a buzz, people will sit right behind you, close to you, and taking all your money, and you wondering why you don't have no money. And they sitting here eating good and they not doing nothing. But this happens every day. So I don't want to be one of those type of guys. So, I'd rather be one of them type of people where I can listen and have somebody tell me what to do than me bump my head and then be like, oh, okay, this is what somebody was telling me.
Wow. Tre, did you go to school for this? Or you just
Nah,
playing?
but you know what? I'm gonna tell you how I got this knowledge, because I use my own money. So I can definitely tell you, nah, don't do that.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Well, okay, so we talk business. Let's talk a little bit about family. Right? And one thing that I always talk about on this rocky road is not only I'm not sure if you have kids or not, or all of that, but how it is. I want people to understand how difficult the balance of a work life uh scale is for independent music artists, as they're trying to build a brand, as they're trying to figure out, as they're trying to navigate. So tell me a little bit about the ups and the downs of the balance of working and family has gone for you.
I gotta tell you, you asked some like the best questions in the world, for real, for real. Like this, so like, uh, it's good. Let me tell you where it's good at, because a lot of people don't travel. This was another reason why I beat people, is because they won't step outside the box. They only stay in one specific type of area. Like now, I'm good in like 4 areas: Denver, Atlanta, Seattle, Washington, and in Chicago. Like I could pull up, but it extends my network. Is the reason why traveling is so important, because you can extend it outside of your little circle that you be in, whatever city you in, because it's a mathematical number. Also, if people understand that it's just a numbers game, it won't blow you away so much. Now, here's what it is on the flip side. I'm even surprised that I'm able to do my interview, because I got a 2-year-old and she be conjoined to my hip. You see what I'm saying? And so like, I give you, for example, I was supposed to go do a little walkthrough at a Rockets game, but I hadn't been home for a while. It just happened like 2-3 days ago because we're doing the whole promotion for OK then. And so my daughter like, oh no, you ain't seen me in a while. So like she like hollering and crying and screaming. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I'm never gonna leave my kids behind. So I take my daughter with me. We go to the Galleria, take her to the Galleria. We go shopping, take her to the Rockets game, and make it all work. Yes, my daughter be active, so it was a lot of extra work for me, but I loved it at the end of the day, and I respect it. But it's 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 so hard because like right now, I'm about to be gone for 2 weeks. I'm about to leave to go do an interview out in Denver. If I leave to Denver, I'm going to Jersey, and then after I go to Jersey, I turn around and go to Seattle. Well, my family don't like this. They be like, oh, da 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 da, this and that. But thank goodness for FaceTime, and I'll tell something what to do, especially if you got a girl, right? So if you want your business to run and you want it to run good, you're gonna have to chill out on all that extra stuff because it just makes your life a living hell. You know what I mean? Like I went through that saga where I wanted to have multiple women, and it always ended up in a disaster on some other stuff, right? Because I'm not really focused on my business anyway. And so now your home is dysfunctional, so you can't focus on your business. But if you involve your family in what you got going on and you true to your family, they will understand. A lot of times they be like, the woman don't understand. Now she don't understand because nigga, you be doing the extra stuff and you ain't bringing no money in on top of that. So you have to really like get it together and understand what it is. Because one thing I'll tell everybody, behind every decision that you make, you have to remember that you need to keep a positive energy, right? So everything that you do, make sure that it has a positive energy that's going to generate from that. That's why you don't want to let anybody steal your energy, because then you become that negative energy, and now negative energy is going to consume you, right? So if you keep the good energy with your family, keep that relationship with your family, all they'll do is push you more. They'll be sharing your stuff. My wife get up there, she have 3-4 phones on the YouTube. Baby, how many views we got? Yeah. But before it would be like, you going to the club. I know what, yeah, see, it's a different type of, but it's whatever type of energy you putting out is what type of energy you'll receive.
That is so true. It's crazy because in this industry, right? We kind of grew up not like loving hip hop, right? And seeing a lot of the men in the industry not show that part. They didn't show that family. They didn't show their kids. They didn't show their wife. So we're out here thinking like, oh, well, all you do is work. All you do is work. That's how we're supposed to work. And we didn't really, well, y'all as music artists, because I'm not an artist, but music artists didn't really get that example of how to do work life. One of the first people who I started seeing really open up about his life on a big scale was Snoop. With his, empire and reality show, like he started showing us a little bit of how his household works and how he functions and how he keeps his kids in line. And it really changed, I think, a lot of people's ideas about how to balance all of that, because you're right. If the wife ain't happy, she's holding it down at home, probably having to hold down a job too, on top of, you taking care of your business on the end where money ain't coming in, money's going out, and she's part of the household. And even if it ain't her money that's going out on this, to her, it could be a hobby that you're just taking entirely too far if you're not taking it seriously, and you're getting caught up in lies and all of this. It just adds on top of that. Primary reason why I said I didn't want to date a rapper. Like I said it, And then I wound up doing it anyway. But anyway, so that's why I'm saying, like, at the end of the day, right? Like, I completely agree with you. I feel like you need to take care of home. Your kids need you. You know, your wife needs to understand, have the understanding that when you go to work, is business. You don't have 20 billion women just hanging around at the studio, you know, just because you think that that's what it's gonna take to make it. At the end of the day, I mean, we're all adults. So you know, I feel like that trust, you know, right down to you being able to have an interview with another female in the industry. You know,
Mm.
if she didn't trust that you were going to do what you said you were going to do, she wouldn't trust you with no females in the industry, period, Zoom or otherwise.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
Zoom or otherwise. So I just want to take a second to commend. I know we talk a lot on this show about music artists and the music industry professionals who support them, but we got to take a second to big up the women and men who hold down the music industry artists
They
and
the
professionals.
MVP. They the real MVP because like when you have that shitty day and the industry be treating you bad, they be the one that be hey and hug you and still love you. So it's best not to make them mad. Cause then you come home and everybody be looking at you like, man, you ain't about. Cause normally you ain't when you out.
Yo, yo, so serious, so serious. Yes, you are so right. They are the real MVPs for real. They are the real MVPs. So then why don't we talk about now uh your ups? Give me about maybe two, maybe three ups, and then two or three downs. Like I know we kind of, you know, skated over it a little bit in the beginning,
Mm.
but put a stamp on it, put a ring on it. Let me know, what would you consider to be two or three ups and two or three downs of being an independent music artist?
Well, the number one up about being an independent artist is that I'm my own boss. I'm in control. You know, I think a lot of times the reason why these people look like clowns out here is because they're not in control of what they got going on. You know what I mean? And another benefit of being the independent artist is, I think what everybody miss is that y'all so busy trying to chase the dollar bill, you chasing the wrong thing. You're supposed to be chasing the brand. I keep constantly trying to preach to people about this. I keep putting the carriage before the horse. You gotta let the horse go first. You feel me? You wanna get millions of views, but you only got 1,000 followers. I don't even understand how you can mathematically think that that would even be possible, or how you think that you're gonna go and charge people $50 for a show, but you only got 500 fans and probably get 3 comments on your post. Like, yo, y'all gotta chill out and slow down and be realistic. Like, let's just slow down just one bit. Let's build the brand first. Let's focus on that, because if you focus on that first, the dollar bill will come. I trust and believe. I believe it highly, because Travis Scott is my prime example, man. Look, you know, you take a pair of Jordans, they $200. You put Travis Scott's name on it, that's $1,000. You can charge whatever you want if you build the brand. And this is what excites me, as you can see, about being an independent artist, is because I know, man, if I can build my brand, I can do whatever I want to do. Just do the hard work, do the groundwork, and know what your goal is. See, I think people are too broad. You just want to get money. That's too broad. Like, how are you going to get the money? What's going to lead you to the money? Well, I try to be more specific, as I want to build a brand. And as I build the brand, my brand will flourish. And then that's how I will receive the money from building the brand. So that's what I like about it. Now, what I don't like about being an independent artist is this, is that sometimes it's always shade. because you the independent artist. So they don't even realize that. I know some people who have these 50, 60, 70, 100K, but their engagement is trash. You see what I'm saying? So like, what is a number without the engagement, you know? But it's the struggle of the independent artist, because it's just always like you on the poor end or whatever it is, right? But you can always turn it into a Cinderella story. So it's always cool to me. But as an independent artist, if you don't know how to invest your money, number one, but let me go before that. As an independent artist, you're going to have to understand that. I understand that everybody want to have a love for the craft, and you should have a love for the craft. But if you're trying to be an independent artist in this business, you're going to have to understand how this computer works. You're going to have to understand that you're going to need money. If I tell people all the time, my nephews and stuff, they get mad. Hey, what I got to do music? You got you some money? If you ain't got you no money, bro, like you need you a little bit. And that's with everything. Any job that you start, you need some type of startup capital. I'm not saying you got to be a baller, but and this is what people miss. See, because people don't want to pay attention to the small things. So what people just want to see you do is, will you take your last? Because if you take your last and make something with it, that'll make a person be willing just to give you they little bit that they don't do nothing with. But you got to show that you're willing to take your last. Are you that person that's going to spend it on the wardrobe? Are you that person that's going to spend it on a product? Because see, they can't make no money off you spending it on the wardrobe. They ain't not going to make $1 at all. But they see you spending money on the project, they be like, well, let me slide in because he already doing all the work. I can just eat. Come on, man, make it work for you. That's all I be trying to say. So those be the problems, is that as an independent artist, a lot of times people get confused. We get put on the back burner, all that other stuff like that. But it outweighs it all. What I tell everybody, if you just do this, just build you a brand. And all those walls and them late nights of not having nothing and all that, that'll all turn away once you build the brand. Sometimes you got to go through the storm before you get to the sunshine.
Wow. Wow. So many gems on this show. So many gems on this show. And I know you dropped a ton of information, and I hope we didn't lose anybody along the way. And if we lost them, you ain't supposed to be here anyway. But if you're still here and you're still getting this knowledge, why don't you officially let people know some core pieces of advice? I know we gave out a lot, but if they don't remember nothing else, what are a couple of things, one or two things that you want independent artists who say, hey, I'm just starting, I don't know where to start, I'm new to this, but I want to be true to this. What pieces of advice would you give them right now?
Number one thing is work, and number two, do good business. Whatever you do, that means whatever product you put out, you put it out the best. That don't mean you got to go get a June James beat the first time you come out. You just make sure you get it mixed and mastered and it sound good so people can listen to it and you got a good album cover. Start with the basics. Just work. Then when you work and you go do something, just make sure you do the best at it. The rest of that stuff will fall in place. Somebody will teach you how to do the paperwork. Somebody will teach you how to do that. People are looking for people out here. I'm telling y'all, like, this is what I'm hearing to the streets. Somebody who got their heart in this. That's what they're looking for right now. You got your heart in this, so put your heart into it. Work, really want this, really care about this. Know that that's what you want to do, and then execute it to the best of your ability.
Wow. Well, Tre, do you have any shout outs that you want to give? Any product information? Drop your social media, how people can check out your music and follow you?
Yes, y'all can follow me on Instagram at Belfort3, BELLFORT, number 3. You can find me on YouTube. That's all you gotta do, just circle it all in. get ready. We finna show the definition of working. You know, if everybody looking for an outline, I'm gonna give it right to you. And hey, let's network. That's what it's all about. The more we
Hey.
network, the way we make more stuff happen. So, you know what I mean? I appreciate you, Rocky, so much. You know, thank you for the opportunity and the platform. You know, thank you for reaching out. You even went over and beyond the call by posting more stuff. It really helped boost. I appreciate that. Big shout out to ESG. Like that's been my big homie for the longest. He's always shown me so much love and I just respect it because he just respect my hustle. Like, you know what I mean? I know he ain't gotta know me from a can in the paint, but he know I be out here grinding. And so he be like, I be seeing you. I be like, yeah. It be the little small things that people appreciate, you know what I mean? So like, I just thank everybody. I thank Easy Access. I thank Doc always being there. That's like my homie. He travel with me, record, do everything. I thank my family for being there. Thank all my supporters out there on Instagram, because without the support from y'all, and the movement doesn't go any further. You know what I mean? So right now, it's just being humble and working. That's it.
Yes. And how can people find you and find your music?
You can find me on Spotify, Belfort 3, Apple Music, Belfort 3, YouTube, type in Belfort 3, Instagram, type in Belfort 3. We got okayed in. Make sure you go check it out. It's available on all platforms. We taking over. I think that's about it.
Hey, let's get it. And guys, make sure that you're following me on Instagram at official Rocky Rocket with 2 T's, ROCKY, like the boxer, because I'll beat you anyway.
Hey!
And guys, make sure you download Crowded Streaming. It's an independent artist music app. This show is sponsored by them. It's for them, and they are FUBU, if you know what that means. So support them, download their app. They pay music artists for their streams. So, you know, they big up, they promote their artists. So please make sure you download them as a user and upload your music as an artist. It's free and they show love. They do interviews, everything. And shout out to Grind City TV for getting us on Roku, y'all. Like that is big. We've been on Roku for about a month now on Grind City Media, Grind City TV out of Pittsburgh. So shout out to K-Bay for putting us on her channel, Grind City. And thank you guys for joining us today. And that's it. Peace out. Thank you. Hey.